Jai Hind children, today we are going to study about physical and chemical changes. Every day we come across many changes in our surroundings. Broadly, the changes around us are of two kinds. They are physical changes and chemical changes. Then about physical changes. A change in which a substance undergoes a change in its physical properties such as shape, size, color and state of a substance. The important characteristics of physical changes are as follows. No new substance is formed in this change. It is a temporary change and is generally reversible. Here are some examples of physical changes. Cut a piece of paper into pieces. Obviously, you cannot join the pieces back to make the original paper. But there is no change in the property of the paper, isn't it? So, cutting of a paper is a physical change because change occurs in its shape or size. Crush a small piece of chalk into dust. Add a little water to the dust to make a paste. Roll it into the shape of a piece of chalk. You recover chalk from the dust. Here also, change occurs in shape and size. Another example for physical change is melting of ice into water and water freezing back into ice. Here, change occurs in the state of water. That is, it changes from solid state to liquid state and again from liquid state to solid state. Another example, boiling of water. Here also, change in state of water occurs. On heating a hacksaw blade, its color change, and on cooling, it gets back its original color. This is another example for physical change because here a physical property, that is its color, has changed. In all the above examples, we can see that only physical properties of the substance got changed. That is, change in size, shape, color or state of substance. Next, about chemical changes. A change in which one or more new substances are formed is called a chemical change. A chemical change is also called a chemical reaction. The important characteristics of chemical changes are as follows. One or more new substances are formed in this change. It is a irreversible change. Heat, light or any other radiation, that is ultraviolet, may be given off or absorbed. Sound may be produced. A change in smell may take place. Let's see some of the chemical changes in our daily life. One of the common examples is rusting. At home, you must have seen shovels and spades getting rusted when exposed to the atmosphere for some time. In the kitchen, a wet iron pan often gets rusted if left in that state for some time. An explosion of a firework is also a chemical change which produces heat, light, sound and unpleasant gases that pollute the atmosphere. If we cut an apple into slices and kept in the open for some time, we will find that the cut surface of apple acquires a brown color. This change in color is due to the formation of the new substance by the action of oxygen. So, this change in color is a chemical change. When food gets spoiled, it produces a foul smell. This shows that new substances have been formed in the spoiled food which has a foul smell. So, the spoilage of food is a chemical change. During photosynthesis, the plants intake carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight to form two new substances, carbohydrate and oxygen. So, photosynthesis is a chemical change. In the process of digestion, the various food materials break down to form new substances which can be absorbed by the body. So, the process of digestion is a chemical change. Some of the chemical changes in detail. First, about burning of magnesium ribbon. Get a small piece of a thin strip or ribbon of magnesium. Clean its tip with sandpaper. Bring the tip near a candle flame. It burns with a brilliant white light. When it is completely burnt, it leaves behind a powdery ash. Collect the ash and mix it with a small amount of water. Mix the mixture well. Obtained mixture or solution is magnesium hydroxide. When magnesium ribbon burns, the change or reaction can be represented as magnesium reacts with oxygen form magnesium oxide. On dissolving the ash, that is magnesium oxide, in water, it forms a new substance, that is magnesium hydroxide. Then what is the chemical nature of this magnesium hydroxide? Yes, it is a base. You have already learned in chapter 5, isn't it? Since magnesium hydroxide is a base, it turns red litmus blue. Next, we can see what happens when an iron nail or blade is dipped in a copper sulfate solution. Take some copper sulfate solution in a conical flask or a beaker. Drop an iron nail or blade into this solution. When an iron nail is dipped in copper sulfate solution, then after some time a brown layer of copper gets deposited on iron nail. This change is due to chemical reaction between copper sulfate and iron. The color of copper sulfate solution also changes from blue to green due to the formation of iron sulfate. The change or reaction can be represented as copper sulfate solution reacts with iron, gives iron sulfate, which is green in color, and copper, which is a brown deposit we have seen on the surface of iron nail. Next, can you say which gas is released when vinegar and baking soda are mixed? What happens when this gas is passed through lime water?
When baking soda and vinegar are mixed with each other, then carbon dioxide gas is released. When carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, then calcium carbonate is formed. Calcium carbonate makes lime water appear milky. The turning of lime water into milky solution is a standard test of carbon dioxide.
Vinegar reacts with baking soda, gives carbon dioxide and other substances. And when this carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, calcium carbonate and water are formed. Next, about rusting. So what is rusting? If we leave a piece of iron in the open for some time, it acquires a film of brownish substance. This substance is called rust, and the process is called rusting. The process of rusting can be represented by the following equation. Iron reacts with oxygen and water, gives rust. Rust is chemically iron oxide, Fe2O3. For rusting, the presence of both oxygen and water is essential. Presence of salt in water speeds up the process of rusting. Now look at the methods to prevent rusting. Rusting can be prevented by not allowing the iron to come in contact with moisture and air. The simplest method is to coat the iron with oil, grease or paint. These coats should be applied regularly to prevent rusting. A more efficient method is to coat the iron with another metal such as zinc or chromium. The process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization. The iron pipes we use in our homes to carry water are galvanized to prevent rusting. Rusting of iron can also be prevented by allowing it to make stainless steel. Stainless steel is made by mixing iron with carbon and metals like chromium, nickel and manganese. Have you ever seen galvanization? Let's watch galvanizing process. Next, what is crystallization? Is it a chemical or physical change? The process by which pure crystals of a substance are formed from its solution is called crystallization. This crystallization process is used to obtain crystals of a pure substance from impure substance. It is an example of a physical change. Let us see how large crystals of pure copper sulfate is obtained by the process of crystallization.
So first, we have to make a supersaturated solution of copper sulfate. For that, heat the solution and keep on adding copper sulfate powder with continuous stirring till no more powder is dissolved. Gently transfer the solution to another beaker and allow it to cool. After some time, crystals of copper sulfate can be seen.
So the topics covered in this chapter are physical change and its examples, chemical change and its examples, and discussed in detail about burning of magnesium ribbon, reaction between copper sulfate solution and iron, rusting of iron, and crystallization. That's all for today's class. Thank you.